Good morning. My name is Stefan from the San Francisco Baking Institute. Today we are going to demonstrate how to make a Gâteau Basque. So we have our butter, a softened butter, sugar, we have a little salt, some aromatic, vanilla and some orange blossom water, eggs and a little bit of baking powder and a flour. And we start with the sugar first. We'll be adding our salt to the sugar. Use a little whisk just to mix it. Adding our softened butter. So we'll use the paddle attachment for creaming our butter. Okay, we start low speed first. I'm going to start adding the eggs, maybe 2 at a time. There we go. We are going to be adding our vanilla extract. There we go. And I'm using a little bit of a orange blossom, just for flavor. To the flour, I will be adding a little bit of a baking powder. Use a whisk just to combine the flour and the baking powder until nicely distributed. Then I will be kind of difficult to pour the flour from this container into the mixing bowl, so I am going to put it onto a piece of parchment paper. Now I'm going to use the paper almost as a funnel, so I can hopefully put most of the flour into the bowl and not on the table. Just mix it until just incorporated. Just do a little scraping on the side to ensure the flour, no flour is left on the side of the container. Move it back up. There we go. That's it. The batter is done. So you have kind of a consistency almost like a pound cake batter. I'm going to transfer the batter into a piping bag. Transfer all the butter into the piping bag. I have prepared 2 tin mold that I have first buttered and then floured, and I actually cut a little bit of a parchment paper and did put it in the center of each mold. It's much easier to unmold. Now with my piping bag, I'm going to cut the tip off. I am going to pipe a thin layer of that Gâteau Basque into the bottom of the mold. And now I'm going to pipe a little bit of a pastry cream in the center of the mold, just in the center. We really want to encase that pastry cream with the Gâteau Basque batter. And now I'm going to repeat. I'm going to pipe another layer of the Gâteau Basque, so that on top of the cream, and I really want to encase it as much as I can. There we go. Smooth out the top. And nice, what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a little egg wash. Just apply a little egg wash. You could bake it right now, but I usually recommend to let that mold can set for maybe about an hour or so in a refrigerator. So I'm going to put it in a refrigerator and then we'll bake it later. Gâteau Basque has been sitting in the fridge for about an hour or so. I'm going to apply another layer of egg wash. I use a fork just to mark the dough, to do a design. There we go. There you go. So this is the small Gâteau Basque, and we bake it for 35 minutes. I use one of the bamboo skewer or your cake tester to ensure that it was correctly baked. When you do so, make sure that you are poking it on the side where there is no cream, otherwise if you have cream you're not going to know if it is the cream or the batter not being baked yet. I'm going to use that little spatula to ensure that the side is not sticking to the side of the pan. Here we go. I'm going to use a plate. I'm going to flip it over. Hopefully it's going to come out. It does. And then invert it back into a platter.